There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music, love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers had fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have that chance, let's face the music and dance, dance. Let's face the music and dance. Who sang that song? Fred Astaire. Of course, he sang it to keep Ginger Rogers from jumping off a bridge one more time. No, I'm going to give you some songs here that Fred and Ginger sang. Irving Berlin wrote these songs. Irving was great pals with Fred Astaire. They used to go to the races together, play gin together. The Mr. and Mrs. Berlins were friends with the Mr. and Mrs. Astaire's. They just great pals. Irving said that he would rather have Fred Astaire introduce one of his songs than any other singer he knew, and they all wanted to introduce an Irving Berlin song. The reason he preferred Fred was that when you saw him singing and dancing these songs up on stage or in the movies with such flamboyance and grace, there was a chance you were going to fall in love with that song. And of course, this meant another hit for Irving. He wrote so many of those wonderful songs for those mid-1930s RKO motion pictures for Fred and Ginger. I think about half of them that we love so much were written by Irving. But now, since you're doing so well on trivia tonight, I decided to give you a little test here. In the mid-1930s, where these songs come from. 1936. Which famous war started in 36? And it wasn't World War II, of course. Spanish War, okay. Side A is catching up a little, side B is. Which famous dam was completed in 36? Well, maybe it's the Hoover Dam if you're Republican. If you're a Democrat, it's the Boulder Dam. And which magazine started that year to cover these great events? Life. How does everybody know that? That is amazing. 1936. I mean, today, there are so many magazines on the rack. A new one comes out every week. We wouldn't know when one started. Well, maybe Playboy. I don't know. 1937. Here is the most romantic thing I have ever heard, and I am a hopeless romantic. There is a king that gave up his throne to marry an American divorcee. King Edward. Isn't that romantic? You know, I've asked my audiences, well, where did they go to live? What does a king do when he gives up his throne? He lives in Montana or something? I've been told by my audiences that they went and lived in France and Bermuda. I felt so sorry for them getting exiled like that. Okay, here's one I've heard a lot about. 1938. There was a very frightening radio broadcast. War of the Worlds, everybody knows. Sounds like some of you might have heard it even. But you didn't believe it, did you? No, you didn't believe it. Let's just hope Steven Spielberg never pulls that little stunt on us, huh? We'll all be running for the shelters. Okay, here it is, a little medley of Fred and Ginger songs I put together, all from those mid-1930s RKO pictures.